Hey, all, good evening. It's Monday night, which means we got some more football in store. One final game. It's New York State of Mind. We got the Bills and the Jets. Some of you probably have some players still going. One of them you're not going to have in your lineup, at least. I hope not. James Cook is not going to play. So let's get him out of your lineup. You might have to pivot at the last second, which means you don't have that many choices. So if you did have Cook or you're waiting on Cook, let's help you out. Or maybe you have some other decisions. I already see some in the comments here. You guys have to make the right choice, maybe even at kicker. Not kidding.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, sometimes that's what it comes down to. All right, we'll answer your questions and we will reflect thoughtfully on yesterday and everything that went on. It was an interesting week. I mean, every week has its quirks and everything, but I swear after the first 10, 15 minutes, it felt like every single player on every single team was going to go out at some point to the Boodle Medical tent. The injury list was getting deep. Some of them did come back, but again, injuries continue to strike. And then here we go. James Cook ruled out for Monday night.
Yeah, this I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, okay, this has got to be the worst injury year I can ever remember. I mean, just so many. I mean, it started right away with the number one pick in fantasy football not playing a snap, and it's just continued. And every time, I mean, man, like I have a team where like I think half of my team has been hit by injury. Like half the team. Like I'm like I'm like almost done. Like I'm almost done already. It's like, okay, this team, I don't know how I'm gonna recover from this. It has not been a good year. It's been brutal year for injuries. Just brutal.
Yeah, we always say, I mean, sure, it hurts to have your first round pick or maybe a couple of players that are out, but you make trades, the waiver wire, but there's sometimes, if you half your team, like you said, you have like three receivers who are all hurt and they're all good receivers. Then it's like, what can you do? I mean, come on, honestly, is Jacoby Myers and
Even he didn't play yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Curtis
Jeez.
Samuel, he might break out. Like, no, it's like at some point you're just like, okay, that I'm done. Like the fantasy gods just do not want me to win this year. But for the most part, you're probably not out of it because it's only week 6, almost week 7. So let's see if we can pull out some wins here. We do have questions we're going to get to. We also do have a little bit of time to get in our picks for Underdog now. Underdog does have this free pick for tonight. New customers, Josh Allen, go higher than 0.5 total yards. I think he'll pull it out. If Josh Allen doesn't have his best game, he will definitely get you at least a yard. So if you're new to Underdog, you haven't tried it out yet, check this out. You just need to sign up on Underdog using promo code NGAME because that gets you the free pick. And it also gets you up to $1,000 in bonus cash. So don't forget to try Underdog, get your pick'ems in. Maybe you want to still, I don't know, do some sort of little mini draft. I know Sir Boomer gets into those prime time paloozas. Wonder who he took. But anyways, if you haven't tried Underdog, check it out. I have to mention Boomer because he's here nice and early. 42 points up. The opponent has Cook, which means he has nothing.
So
Not
you're
bad.
good. Yeah. Oh man. Not putting in Ingram for God. And you still won by 42. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And that's good because he's one of those teams that's been decimated by injuries. Pacheco, Nico, and Tua all out, and you still won big. That's nice.
That is nice. Very nice. Well done.
All right. Well done. All right. Let's get to Brandon Sky. Now, I promised you a kicker question. Needs 10 points from a kicker. So no names required here. Jets kicker or Bills kicker?
Bills, I guess, because at least I feel like maybe Josh Allen can get him into scoring range with his legs a little bit. I guess Bills kicker, but I really don't know. I don't even know I only know who the Bills kicker is because I'm playing against him in one matchup. I don't even know who the Jets kicker is. I literally couldn't even tell you his name.
Uh, it might be. Is it still Greg the Leg? Is it Greg Zerloin? I think it might be.
Okay.
Not sure. Let me make sure. Not that it matters. Like, again, Bills kicker, Jets kicker. I mean, what offense do you like better? I like the Bills offense better. Look, it might help the Bills, the fact that Shakir is Shakir playing, by the way? Shakir was questionable.
Yeah, good question. Let me see. That's a good question because that's a big one. That's a big one, honestly. I think not bigger than James Cook, of course, for fantasy, but that's a big one for the Bills offense. But man, how brutal is it? Like, it's bad enough to have to sweat a Monday Night Football game in a close matchup, but then your sweat is the kicker. You got to sweat the kicker. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Khalil Shakir, according to Adam Schefter, he will play tonight. So I really like Shakir tonight. So I guess I'll give the edge to the Bills offense.
Yeah, well, I was going to say Shakir in, but hasn't been practicing. James Cook is out. If the running game isn't effective, maybe again, I'm trying to find some rationale to support a kicker. Maybe the Bills stall out in the red zone. I don't know. Go Bills kicker, Tyler Bass. Jay, non PPR after your must add show got Smith Schuster. All right. Didn't feel good. I'm just going to tell you that. Felt a little dirty telling people to pick up Juju, but here's where we are. Avadunze, Dell, and Hill needs to bench one, and then Kraft or Ingram. All right, so we're setting our lineup nice and early.
Oh, man. Boy.
Well, Adunze is
know who these...
on a bye, so that's easy.
Yes. I haven't even looked into these matchups yet. Let me see here.
I do remember that there's only two teams on bye, and it's the Bears and the Cowboys. So if you have to bench one of these, it's Adunze because he's the one not playing. So there you go.
Oh, okay. That's easy. Plus, I really like Tank Dell. He's going to be on tonight's video, I think.
Yeah. It was hard to be just all in on Tank Dell. I know we had a lot of Tank Dell questions, and sometimes we said yes, sometimes we didn't. But I mean, you didn't know because again, his target share and especially his first read share had not been high at all until Nico went out. So he definitely had that upside, but it wasn't guaranteed.
Right.
All right, what about this? And then again, this is non-PPR, Kraft or Ingram.
I'm still going Ingram. This is just, I kind of talk about this on tonight's video too that comes out after the game. The whole, kind of the lesson of hey, if you have really good players that are in really good situations, just start those players. Don't chase last week. Don't chase the week before. We had so many Crafter Laporta, Crafter McBride, Crafter this guy questions. And I get it. Kraft was great for 2 weeks in a row. But he's still Tucker Kraft. There's a reason why he's Tucker Kraft. And there's a reason why he went undrafted in every single league. And Ingram came back and was fantastic. 100 yards, 10 targets, second to only Brock Bowers, who was basically the only healthy pass catcher the Raiders even had in that game. I think you got it. Ingram, to me, if I don't even think about it. If I got Ingram, he's just in my lineup, assuming he stays healthy, of course.
Yeah, it's tricky because, and I'll admit, sometimes I'm a little too slow to buy in on somebody who comes kind of out of nowhere, or not a high-end rookie, or somebody who's good. I'm like, well, let's see it again, and then he keeps doing it. Okay, so sometimes I won't fully buy in before everybody else, but I also know not to give up on good players after they have a couple of bad games. People were dropping. Right. Early in the season, people dropped Christian Kirk. People dropped, DeAndre Swift.
Deontay Johnson got dropped.
Deontay Johnson. For some reason, we had somebody drop Devontae Smith because he missed a week with concussion. It's like, what are we doing? So anyways, You don't just give up on a player after a couple of bad games.
Right.
That includes Evan Ingram. Other John had two players who did not deliver and got hurt. Up 13 with that same Bills kicker, but going against Josh Allen. Well, look, the Jets D, if there's defense that can come through, it's the Jets D.
Yeah, look, if the Jets D comes through, that means Josh Allen probably doesn't. So, but that's we had a couple big injuries like that. Olave, at least Olave was right. We were I mean, we said yes to Olave sometimes because your choices were like Olave or somebody ridiculous. We said Olave, but at least Olave was a guy people were mostly afraid of because of Spencer Rattler. But the one that really hurt was the Marvin Harrison one because pretty much everybody started Marvin Harrison and he leaves the game early with that concussion. Obviously, Olave was, I guess, worse because he left the game with a concussion and fumbled, so he got you negative points. But yeah,
Right.
brutal.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? You had two players who both got hurt and gave you nothing. That happens. I will say this: I took the lower, and I just mentioned Josh Allen. You take the higher 1 yard. Okay, we'll get you a yard. But in one of my pick'ems for Underdog, I took the lower in passing yards for Josh Allen. I don't think it's going to be a big Josh Allen game. I could be wrong, but you do at least have Bill's kicker. So yeah, you got a good shot here. Good shot. All right, now rage drop time. Gavin Ward wants to rage drop Brandon Ayuk, but I think he knows better.
Yeah, I know you can't. I know it's one of these offenses. It's just going to be frustrating. Like if you have Debo or Ayuk, it's just going to be frustrating because I talked about this in the panic video. It's like two guys that like you have to start them because on any given week they can go off, but you also hate having to start them because on any given week they could take the backseat to the other guy. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, really? I mean, yeah, if you have guys better than him, sure, but you probably don't.
It's almost worse that it's a player on a good offense like this. Like when you have a player who's on a team and like the quarterback has a bad day or they just get shut out, you're like, oh man, like the Giants sucked or whatever. It's almost worse when Ayuk does nothing and you see Debo going off and it's like salt on the wound. It's like that could have been my guy. Because somebody's going to have a big game. It's not always going to be your guy. So don't drop him. I know this is interesting. I don't know if you'll agree with this. Somebody, Rohan S. specifically, is wondering about selling high on Bijan Robinson, and it's because he is tilted because despite Bijan Robinson having a big game, Algier also had a big game.
Yeah, I get it, but I feel like a lot of Algiers' big game was at the very end when they were already well in control, and they just gave them they just let them run and get that touchdown. Now, I will say, like I'm with you on the whole touches thing here because you look, I mean, Bijan Robinson, he had 14 carries, he had 2 catches. Okay, that's fine, but that's not what we're looking for, right? We're looking for 20-ish touches every single week from Bijan Robinson. So I'll say what I always say: if you can truly sell high, like you get a stud wide receiver back, sure, go for it. But don't trade Bijan just to trade him.
No, don't do that. Okay, so he looks like he's got a specific trade in mind: Bijan and Keenan for Kamara and Coleman. Keon Coleman.
Yeah,
I think we could do better than Coleman.
I think you can definitely do better than Coleman. I mean, I know. Okay, Keenan is coming off a big game, so he's got a little bit of value. I know he's mostly been bad, but I mean, man, Alvin Kamara. Like, I know it hasn't been great for Alvin Kamara the last few weeks here. The last couple of weeks, he's just been okay, but yeah, I don't know. I probably keep the Bijan Keenan side here, but I will say this is fairly close for me.
Well, I don't know. I'm still not in on Keon Coleman being startable. I feel like this isn't selling high. You know what I mean? I feel like you're not getting enough back after Bijan just had a big game and Keenan had a big game. Oh, okay. It wasn't really a big game. He just happened to score touchdowns. But still, right. I feel like you could get more than this. So, I mean, I'm fine with Kamara and a better receiver. But yeah, I don't feel like that's really selling high enough. All right. Here's another trade offer from Cody Greenwood. Amari or Brees? Wait,
someone is gonna give you Brees Hall for Amari Cooper. Take this before Brees Hall goes off tonight. Take this and run. How is somebody who wants Amari Cooper right now? What?
And Mason for Godwin. So Oh, he already did this. What do you think about dropping Olave for Devon? What kind of league is this?
Yeah, no, do not drop Chris Olave for Devontae Adams. Devontae, okay, I know Chris Olave let you down this week, but Chris Olave is actually like an active football player right now. Devontae Adams is sitting around waiting to get traded. Who knows when, if that's going to happen, and where he's going to go. But yeah, this is a huge win for you. Brees for Amari, Godwin for me. What? Who's making these trades? Who are you playing with? You
Yeah,
playing with like? Are you playing against a computer? I feel like you're playing against a computer on easy mode.
exactly. Don't give Olave away. No. All right. This is talking about bad beats. Let's see if anybody can top this. Juice lost by 24 hundredths of a point thanks to Marvin Harrison getting exactly 0. Kyler then doing nothing. Mason and
Okay, look. Marvin Harrison and Mason, they get passes. They got hurt. It happens. Like, you can't blame. Oh, Marvin Harrison sucked this week. No, he didn't suck. He got concussed. Like, oh, Chris Olave sucked this week. No, he didn't. He got concussed. Like, they didn't suck. They got concussed. They got hurt. Okay? And it just so happened it was very early in the game, and they didn't get you any fantasy points. The one you should be mad at here is Kyler Murray. What is going on with Kyler Murray? And I'm being like, in a super flex league, we started Burrow, Kyler, and we could have had Burrow, Justin Jefferson instead. And I regret that. Kyler Murray is, I don't even know what to do with Kyler Murray. Like it just seems like he doesn't even, like he's out there. He doesn't even care. I don't even know. I don't know what's going on. I'm so frustrated with Kyler Murray. He's the one you should be mad at here.
right. Yeah, exactly. No thanks to Kyler Murray. I mean, look, obviously it wasn't meant to be for you because it looks like half your team gave you nothing. You still barely lost, but those are the breaks. Jeff Rogers. Okay, talking about waiver wire pickups here. So Downs, Dobbs, Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins, you got to pick up Sammy Watkins. Man, I was like, oh, this is the year. Sammy Watkins used to be that guy where it was like, this is the year. This is Sammy's year. This is going to happen.
He had, if I remember, exactly one good year, and it was like his second season or something. And then he went to the Chiefs, and it was, oh, Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins is the next Josh Gordon. Anyways, it's Downs. It's got to be Downs.
Got to be Downs. I know Dobbs had a nice game, but like that's what Dobbs does, right? Every now and then he catches a touchdown or two, and then he disappears for a few weeks. It's got to be Downs.
Got to be Downs. And then he also wants to know 13 points from Josh Allen. Probably.
Very doable. Very doable.
All right. Jake the Snake. What's up, Jake?
No.
Dropping Waddle? No. Don't drop Waddle.
No. Look, I know Waddle hasn't been very good, and he probably won't be very good this week again. But look, they're already saying Tua is going to return this year. I like that the fact that the tweet was, it's not going to be this week. Oh, you don't think it's going to be this week? He can't return this week. He's on IR. Like, who? But anyways, he'll probably be back in week 8. Probably be back next week, maybe week 9 at the latest, and then you're going to really be happy you still have Waddle.
Yes. Do not drop Waddle. Do not drop Olave. Just be patient. Still, we're not even halfway through the season. So, you can pick up Juju, but not for a player like this. Alexis, welcome back. Pick 3 for next week. Garrett Wilson, right. Deontay Johnson, Devontae Smith, Evans, and Kirk.
Off the top of my head, I don't know who any of these guys play next week.
We're gonna have to. Okay, let's see. Evans, Bucks get the Ravens. That's a pretty good matchup. I think you have to start Evans.
You got to start Evans. Got to start Evans. He's not playing against Marshawn Lattimore. You got to start him.
Panthers get the Commanders. I think you have to start Deontay.
Yeah, Deontay. So it's going to come down to Jets get the Steelers and the Panthers get the. Oh wait, no. Who's the other team? Oh, the Eagles get the Giants. I'd probably go Devonta Smith here, honestly. I'd probably go Smith, Evans, Deontay at this moment.
Yeah, there you go. Still got time. This could change. But for now, that's what we're doing. I think Kirk is the one you can definitely bench. Rage bench. If he was in your lineup. I don't know. With these receivers, I hope you probably didn't start him last week. I hope you didn't.
Yeah, I hope not.
All right. We have Dazzle. Dazzle's been watching for the last 2 years. All right. Awesome. First year, went 8-2.
Wait, I have a question. Your league only plays 10 regular season games, so the playoffs are week 11, 12, and 13? How does that work?
That's an early playoff. I mean, I get early
Yeah.
playoffs, but that's early playoffs. But all right.
And the problem with that, like the issue with that is there's still bye weeks going on. So you could have like
Yeah.
your best players out on bye that week. Like that doesn't seem fair, but hey, every league's different. So I'm sure you guys have a reason.
Hey. All right. Well, maybe this is his year. Whatever week it is, about to be 5-1.
Nice.
Despite Kyler, Kamara, JT, and JT didn't play. Okay, you had Zay, got Terry. Thoughts, trades with this team. You got good players on your bench. I don't know. I don't think you really have any needs, like glaring needs, unless you really hate Kyler enough to trade him away. You got Caleb on the bench.
Yeah, the problem is like who wants Kyler Murray right now?
Yeah. I don't know. JT maybe will miss another week, but I would think that would be hopefully the most. He'll be back
Yeah.
soon-ish.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, I don't know who's on the waiver wire here, but I would probably drop Goddard and pick up another running back if you can.
Yeah. I mean, Bucky is definitely startable. But yeah, you don't really have any running back depth. So there you go. You can just add another running back, but you got good bench players. You got Bucky, you got Downs. Nice. So by the way, DC Hogs, thank you for the Downs call. Yep, big on Downs, paid off. It's not just look, he didn't go insane. No, we didn't think he was going to go for 200 yards or anything, but man, the target share has been there not just this week, not just last week. And I had to say it, and I don't. It's not like check out the victory lap. It's look 2 weeks ago we were saying pick up Josh Downs, and people are like, "Who's Josh Downs?" Now you know. You want to pick these players up before they start becoming known. All right, what about nicked up thoughts on Tyrone Tracy? Because I mean, Singletary was close to playing, he didn't. What's going to go on now that Tracy's had 2 straight strong games?
Yeah, I think we're gonna see some Tracy when Singletary is back for sure. I don't think it's gonna be all Singletary anymore. Like I think Tracy's been too good, and he gives them a dimension that Singletary really doesn't, especially in the passing game. So I talk about this also in tonight's video. I say, look, even if Singletary comes back this week, don't drop Tracy. Like, let's wait and see how this thing shakes out, because I do think the days of Singletary being like a true workhorse might be over.
I mean, I don't know how you can see in 2 straight games a rookie, perform the way he has and just say, "All right, thanks for your service." Now it's Singletary's turn. You just sit there. No, he's got to get some work. And with Singletary, it's a growing injury, I believe. I mean, there's chance of re-aggravation. It's not like he couldn't hit the shelf again. And by the way, I originally was going to have Tyrone Tracy on the waiver wire video to add, but couldn't do it because that night game, the risk. Like, what if Tracy gets hurt? What if something happens? So it was a little too late in the game for me to mention him. But I think at this point, you should know if Tracy's out there. You can add Tracy. Okay, so here we go. This is the fun of fantasy football when you have a guy that is ruled out on Monday night. Joseph Dorfman has the Ray Davis, Ty Johnson dilemma. So does Francisco Deanda with Cook out. What running back? Ray Davis, Ty Johnson, or this is my chance to finally mention the name of Frank Gore Jr. was elevated from the practice squad. Let's go. But it's probably not him.
I think I've got to lean Ty Johnson because he seems to be the one the Bills trust the most. Because we've seen even in games where Cook is healthy and fine, Ty Johnson is a lot of times the third down back. He's out there, in crucial downs. Ray Davis, you got to remember, he's a rookie. I don't think we see a ton of. I mean, I don't think Ty Johnson is getting all the touches tonight. We'll see some Ray Davis, and maybe we even will see Frank Gore Jr. get a touch or two. But I think if I had to pick between these two, I'm going Ty Johnson.
This is going to be a very specific type of usage for both players. Ty Johnson will be the third down passing down back, right? Ray Davis will be the early down short yardage back. That's just how they are. So touchdown upside goes to Ray Davis. PPR floor goes to Ty Johnson. If you're in a full PPR league, Ty Johnson makes more sense because he will catch passes. He's got some speed. I mean, he can make some big plays as a runner as well. But I think the way this offense functions, Ty Johnson makes more sense. It's the Jets defense. I honestly don't feel either of these running backs are going to have big upside anyways. So I take the guy who could get you some points at least. But this is a good question, which, by the way, Mama Matt, I hope that answers your question too. What if you're like Cliff and you're choosing between those two Buffalo running backs or Braelon Allen? You go Braelon Allen.
Man, this is why we told everybody to bench James Cook.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have to be deciding between these guys. I might just go Braelon Allen. The Buffalo Bills run defense is not very good. He's got that explosive home run ability. I might just go Braelon Allen.
Yeah, I would too. And I will say this because this does support the Braelon Allen pick because I had Breece Hall as a boom. Think he's going to have a big week because Buffalo's run defense isn't that good. I feel like with everything that happened last week, of course, Aaron Rodgers throwing multiple interceptions, the switch in offensive coordinator, I just feel like they're going to feed the ball to the running backs, mainly Breece Hall, but also Braelon Allen, I think, gets more involved. Just better matchup, opportunity. I think Braelon Allen is just a little bit better than Ray Davis and Ty Johnson. So, yeah, it's Braelon Allen here. Now, a different Braelon Allen question from Kelsey. Drop Braelon Allen. Of course, you don't need him and doesn't have Breece. Would you drop Braelon Allen to get either Juju or Tyrone Tracy?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe. I mean, if you really, man, Juju feels like such a trap. Like we've seen this before. Like the last time he was in KC, he had like 3 really good, and I was really high on Juju that year. It was like probably the 1 year I was actually in on Juju. And he had like 3 good games, then he would disappear for weeks. And again, Tracy, man, like Singletary's gonna come back sometime soon. I mean, I certainly would not be dropping Braelon Allen right now because
that's a good point.
Shocker, if Breece gets hurt tonight, which I know no one's gotten hurt this year, so it probably won't happen. But if it somehow happens and Breece gets hurt tonight, you're going to be really happy you have Braelon Allen.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you don't have to do this right now, even if you're going to do this. Don't know when your waivers run or whatever, but there's no point dropping Braelon Allen right now. But I would say if you're going to do this, if you're looking, what are you looking for? You're looking for a running back with upside, like instead of Braelon Allen? Well, then it would only make sense you pick up Tracy.
Right.
And I'm fine with that, but wait. All right. Since we're talking about Juju, and look, trust me, believe me, I didn't love having to put Juju on the waiver wire video. Didn't love it, but I feel like it's my duty. Got to do it.
Yes.
John Murchison, Juju or Mooney rest of season?
I don't. Maybe I'm a sucker. I could be a sucker. I'm still going Mooney. I know Mooney didn't have a good week this week, but I like that Falcons offense. I like the way they're headed. I know Juju's a wide receiver 1 in KC, but he was a wide receiver 1 in KC like 2 years ago and did almost nothing as well. Juju is what he is. He just is what he is. So I don't know. I'm going to go with Mooney.
I'm going to go with Mooney too. I mean, that Falcons offense is clicking, you know. Mooney didn't have a big game, but like, this is one of those things. This is what mentioned with Kirk Cousins. They really didn't need to throw the ball that much because Carolina has one of the worst run defenses in the league, and we saw Bijan go off. That's why Bijan was on the boom. Mooney will be fine. So I'd go Mooney. Brian Furman is wanting to know, despite the fact he's playing tonight, are you dropping Shakir for Bucky? Somehow Bucky Irving's still on waivers. I don't know why.
Let's see what Shakir does tonight. I mean, really, I really like Shakir, and I think Shakir could have a really good, nice game tonight. And then you might be thinking like, oh, maybe I don't want to drop Shakir. And look, I mean, I was wrong about Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker had a game. So even if Rachaad White misses time, it's not like Bucky's not going to be the workhorse here. Sean Tucker is going to be involved. He's never going to be the workhorse. So right now I'm holding Shakir, but let's see what happens tonight.
The worst thing that could have happened for Bucky Irving owners, so picked him up and even started him. Look at you start him. You're happy. You love what happened, except for the fact that Sean Tucker came in at the end and outperformed Bucky in terms of not just rushing yards, but also receiving and scored twice. Because today they asked Todd Bowles, and he isn't one of these coaches who plays games or whatever. They said, well, is this now when White comes back to this, did Sean show enough that this is going to be like a three-headed monster, like a three-headed committee? And he basically like, yeah, definitely. He showed enough. This could be a three-man committee. Like, okay, great. That's awesome. Love that. So yeah. We don't want to get carried away with Bucky Irving. Definitely still a strong ad, but yeah, I don't know. I'd be a little nervous. All right, let's get to Dragon Tchaikovsky. Got a super chat. Thank you, Dragon. 12 team PPR. He's 4-2. 2 flexes here. Got AR, Caleb, Gibbs, Rico, Algier, Jalen Wright, Braelon Allen Brooks, Higgins, Zebo, Liggett, Downs, Keon, Nico, Puka, trade Puka for Achane.
I'd probably do this. I would do this. I mean, we still have no idea when Puka is going to be back. It sounds like Tua is going to be back very soon. That will definitely help Achane. You got Higgins, deep. I mean, but then again, then I look at you got Nico. Oh man, Gibbs, Recon, Cheer.
I think we could use RB help here because really Gibbs is the only one I feel like, you're starting him. The others are iffy.
Yeah.
Bench players. So I think it's worth it.
I would do this. I would do that.
Also, I mean, Cup might come back next week or the week after. Puka, I don't think it's quite as clear, the timeline. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, Cup could be back this week. Sean McVay said, I think something like today will be, what does Sean McVay say about Cooper Kupp? He will have a high workload session with Reggie Scott, and his reaction to that will determine whether he's available for the rest of the week than the game. So, encouraging. I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
he could return this week. They're saying, right. Not official, but he could. But Puka, we have he's like, nah. No,
don't talk to me about Puka. I would do this. Keith Downey just traded Amon-Ra and Dowdle for Jacobs and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, this is a win. This is a win. Definite win.
Is a win because you're getting Hill again. Hopefully one more week, and then we see vintage Tyreek Hill, and so Jacobs over Dowdle. That's a big upgrade. Which, by the way, are we? I mean, at what point do we start to talk about maybe a Sun God not quite being an elite receiver fantasy yet? He did finally score a touchdown. That was kind of in garbage time. But he hasn't been getting these 10-catch, 100-yard games.
Yeah, that touchdown was a gift. The Lions were just like, okay, here, have a touchdown, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the Lions were going deep into the playbook, like flea flickers to offensive line. I mean, they were just running, they were just toying with the Cowboys, right? Like, I'm a little nervous for a Sun God for sure right now. But at the same time, before that, he had 3 straight 20-point games, so it wasn't like he'd been bad. I know one of those games was because he threw a touchdown. But yeah, little. I think what the issue is for Detroit for Sun God, they just can run the ball at will. They can just run the ball at will against everybody. They can just run the ball at will.
Yep. And
Like,
that's
they barely have to throw. They're like, you can't stop our run game.
Yeah, the last 2 games, they haven't had to throw it because they were winning so big. So yeah, I mean, I know game script is part of it. We'll see. See if anybody challenges the Lions. All right, John M. Face the Juggernaut is down about 10 points, but got Garrett Wilson to go. Yeah, there's definitely hope.
Definitely hope here. Good luck. Good luck, John.
Thomas Eddard has Love and Mayfield. Who to keep, who to trade? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, I like it. I like the way you're thinking here. I'm keeping Love, trading Mayfield, but honestly, I would just trade whoever got me the best return.
But yeah, who do your league mates like better, basically? All right, Rodney Alvarez, drop downs or Wicks for Juju.
You can drop Wicks. Oh man, how many dollars have been spent on waiver wire pickups that did nothing? Ontavian Wicks did literally nothing since you picked him up and dropped all your fab or used your number 1 claim.
Well, and not just Rodney, but also Justice Reborn asking to drop. So I get if you maybe didn't watch the whole thing or didn't watch it yet. So the waiver wire video, we talk about who to pick up. Obviously, for this coming week, this is probably why we have so many Juju Smith-Schuster questions. Added a little something new at the end. It's called the cut list. So at the very end, after I talk about all the waiver wire picks, I named 5 players that are droppable now. Wicks was one of them. Also, 1 week wonder, Juwan Jennings. He's another one. How much fab was wasted on Juwan Jennings? How much fab was wasted on Isaiah Likely after 1 week? Those guys had their time and it's over. So you can drop Wicks. You could probably drop Rashawn Johnson too.
Yeah, you can probably drop Rashawn Johnson too.
All right, we need to wish Aaron luck. Aaron Maxim has Shakir, who's at least playing. Going against Josh Allen, though, 22-point lead. Should be able to pull that out.
Should be able to. Good luck. Good luck, Aaron.
We'll definitely pull for you. Cesar Castillo is down by 5, but got Hall. I mean, you should definitely pull that out.
I definitely hope you win this.
Rodney Alvarez up 13 with Kincaid, but against G. Will should.
Maybe. I mean, it depends what Kincaid does. If Kincaid could give you nothing. So I think you'll be sweating here. I think this to me feels like a coin flip.
Yeah, I'm not feeling a big Wilson game. Of course, you never know. So it will be close. I think you have a good shot, Rodney. So we'll see. All right, Brandon Warren wants to know, would you go Allen Lazard or one of the Bills running backs?
So I'm looking at the fantasy points coverage, the wide receiver coverage matchup chart. It does like Lazard tonight. Like, it says Lazard has the better matchup than Garrett Wilson. To say if it's PPR or not, I might just go Lazard, honestly. I don't like. I might go Lazard. He always has a chance to score.
Yeah, actually, I would go Lazard too. I mean, I just said I don't feel great about Garrett Wilson, but part of that is because I know they're going to give a lot of attention to Garrett Wilson on the Bills defense. I think Lazard has more upside if it's a PPR league than either of those running backs. So go Lazard. Always could score a touchdown. Fire Titan. Pollard, the Titan, and Devontae Smith for Evans and Gibbs.
I got to take the Evans and Gibbs side here. We got to give Evans a pass for this week. Look, we told a lot of people to sit Mike Evans. We weren't like completely like bench him no matter what, but anybody that had halfway decent options, we said sit Evans because it's Marshawn Lattimore. We got to give him a pass for that. Evans has mostly been, in fact, the only 2 games he hasn't been good in was Marshawn Lattimore and Pat Surtain. That's it.
It's true.
Those are only 2 games. He's been great in every other game. And I know Gibbs, like I talked about Gibbs on the Panic video. Like Gibbs has been good this year, but not great. But same with Pollard. Pollard's been good, but not great. I mean, Pollard's been good because of where you drafted him. Like you feel better about Pollard because you're like, oh, I drafted this guy in like round 9 and look at all the points I'm getting. Whereas you look at Gibbs, you're like, oh, I drafted the guy in round 1. What a bust. Even though, Gibbs has been better. So yeah, I think I prefer Evans to Smith and I prefer Gibbs to Pollard. Give me that side.
Exactly. Pollard has been good, but I'm still going to prefer Gibbs. And Smith and Evans is pretty close, but yeah. If you're getting the Evans-Gibbs side, it's good for you. All right, we have now Shaquille Naidoo. Down 6. Had Cook and the Bills defense. Well, at least you can still start them. All right, so are we going Ray Davis, Ty Johnson, Keon Coleman, Braelon Allen, or Ty Conklin? At least we have a lot of choices here.
Yeah, and you only need 6 points. That's the good news here. I almost want to say Conklin, but I probably should just go with Braelon Allen and take the points. Take what he gives me.
Now, I did see Conklin. I think he's playing. He was questionable, but, besides the fact he's a tight end, that might move me off of him because who knows if he's 100%, tonight. I'm not going to pick Coleman. Just go Braelon Allen here. We already said Braelon Allen over the Bills receivers, running backs. I mean, come on. 6 points. The Bills defense alone should get you 6 points.
Right.
Go with the guy who will touch the ball. All right. Carl, always looking for a trade. Can you trade those disappointing Cardinals for JT and Waddle?
I would. You got Jordan Love, so you don't need Kyler. Marvin Harrison with that concussion, like he might not play this week. So even if JT doesn't play, I mean, Marvin Harrison might not play. Okay, Waddle probably not going to be very good this week again, but you're getting JT. Just for JT, I would do this.
Yeah, I mean, even if you didn't have a guy like Jordan Love at quarterback, I was like, yeah, I would do this. Getting JT, getting Waddle, you're buying low on both those guys. I'd easily do this. Even besides the fact that you're disgusted with Arizona's offensive players, even besides the disgust factor, I'm still taking this because it's a win for you. All right. So we already kind of answered that one. We do, by the way, Christopher Potts, we do have a Sammy Watkins truther. I get it. He did have some big fantasy games. This is true. Some.
True.
Not entirely false. Angel Velasquez, Braelon Allen, Ty Johnson.
I'm just going to go with Braelon Allen here against that Bills run defense.
Yeah. Go Braelon Allen here. All right. Doug Fenton. So somebody dropped Adams. Tired of him not playing. Okay, but let's see. Got Garrett Wilson, Flowers, BTJ, Jason Addison, and Worthy. Would you drop any of those players for Devontae?
Yes. Just debating which one of the last 3 I would drop for him.
Yeah, I'm not like disgusted by Jason, but I'm a little disappointed. Just a little disappointed.
Yeah. I know. Like I want to say Worthy, but then I'm like, but what if Worthy, like in the second half of the season, starts to figure it out and becomes the wide receiver 1? So I probably would drop JSN for him. JSN has been so disappointing.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like, I don't expect great things from Worthy, but there's a chance he could have some big games. JSN's hadn't cut it. Geno Smith was on the cut list. Yeah, I think JSN. Arturo Balderas. Soup. Okay. Well, the soup. They can do to make my team better. Love, Walker, Gibbs, Evans, Flowers, AJB, Chase Brown, James Cook, Tyreek. Well, you got a good team. Brian Robinson. Interesting.
You drop both your tight ends?
Now, I understand rage dropping or just, I don't know. There's probably a better word to use than disgust, but just just dropping out of sheer disgust anybody on Cleveland. But
yeah,
I don't know who you would stream. I mean, you don't really want to stream tight end.
I mean, I usually don't want to stream tight end, but this year I feel like it's fine. Like,
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, but anything to make this team better? It's a pretty good team.
I love Walker, Gibbs, Evans. I mean, it's a pretty good team. It's a pretty good team. I get Tyreek's been disappointing. You don't have James Cook tonight. Brian Robinson Jr. hurt, but I mean, you got Walker and Gibbs, Evans and Flowers, AJ Brown back. You got Jordan Love. Yeah, I think this. I don't know what size your league is, but this is a great team.
Yeah, if this isn't an 8-team league, if it's anything bigger, then you've got a dominant team. If it's 8-team, okay, it's still good, but you have 4 startable running backs again when they're all healthy. You have some really good receivers, especially if Tyreek Hill becomes Tyreek Hill again. Yeah, so I don't really see any way you can improve your team except for tight end. And do not trade one of those receivers or running backs to get a tight end. Don't.
Yeah, do not trade for a tight end. Just stream. There's you know what you should do right now, honestly? Before the game starts, see if Ty Conklin is on your waivers and just pick him up and see what he does tonight. Because I actually like Ty Conklin. If he does nothing, you drop him next week for a different tight end.
There you go. All right. Country connected. Got these players. It's 12-team. He's 5-1, rolling along. Someone offered Achane for Devontae and Najee.
Oh, Najee. Finally had a nice game. Looked great, honestly. Looked great.
Of course he did.
Now we're going to have to be back in on Najee and get burned. Now we're going to have to get burned by Najee again. Do I want to do this deal, though? What do you got? Monty, Brian Robinson, Najee, Ford. You got Devonta, Olave, Wilson. Is it Jamar Chase, DJ Moore? I feel like you got Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson. You probably won't have Chris Olave this week, and you probably don't want him anyways. DJ Moore. I mean, I definitely feel like you need running back. Because I'm not expecting Najee to do this again.
I mean, I guess if there is something on this team that doesn't have is a very good team, is like a true RB1. So Achane could be that true RB1. I mean, I think this is pretty close. I don't know. Maybe would you try to counter and see if we can get a little bit extra back? Maybe 2 for 2.
Yeah. My gut is telling me just to keep Devonta Smith and Najee.
All right. I mean, if you can get more back, you can do this. And then it says Ingram for Brooks. You got Ingram, so you'd be getting Brooks. Again, I feel like you could get more.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're activating his practice window today, but what are we going to see from Jonathan Brooks? Chuba Hubbard's been great every game. He's coming off ACL. I think I would just want Ingram. I know you got McBride, but I would want somebody I would want somebody I feel like I could start this week if I needed to, not somebody that probably going to have to wait. I mean, look at Nick Chubb. It's taken literally almost the whole 21 days of his practice window to where they're going to activate him this week. And then how much run is he really going to get this week? Like, you might still be looking at 5+ weeks before Jonathan Brooks is even really getting significant work. And that assumes Chuba doesn't just hold on to this job all year. So Yeah, I'm keeping Ingram here for sure.
Yeah, and they asked Dave Canales about Jonathan Brooks. I think it was today, and didn't really say anything super encouraging. Wasn't like, yeah, we're excited about it. He was like, well, we'll see. And it's like, okay, probably going to be a couple weeks before we really see anything out of him. So no, I don't think you need to do either of these trades. I mean, you're 5-1, right? If it ain't broke, you don't need to fix it. Michael Cazares traded Jacobs for London. That's good.
Give me London. Give me London. Like, I talk about him tonight. Like, if there's any buy low window on London still, somebody still doesn't believe because it's the Falcons and it's Drake London, and all I can think about is the last 2 years and how bad he's been. Go get Drake London. This guy, get Drake London.
I think he's proven he's legit. Paul P. Do I make some trades here? Okay, I got AJB, Evans, Monty, Henry, McBride, Mooney, Moore, Dowdle, Sharp, Algier, Mostert, Wicks, Bass in Chicago.
I mean, you can always make trades, but I don't see what you're going to do here. You got AJ Brown and Evans. You got Monty and Henry. You got McBride. So you don't really want to get rid of those guys. Those are your studs. Mooney, DJ Moore. Okay, you got a little bit of depth at wide receiver. Dowdle, Charbonnet, Algier, Mostert. I think you're not getting a lot for those guys. You're obviously not getting anything for Wicks right now. You could probably drop Wicks. I mean, you could try to package like, I don't know, Algier and DJ Moore and maybe get a better wide receiver, but I don't even know if that's going to do anything, honestly.
Yeah, again, I feel like this starting lineup, I mean, I can see why you're 4-1 because you have good players who have performed. So you don't need to mess with that, but also just not a lot of great trade value on your bench. So,
all right, not that this means everything, but according to the Bills beat writers who are at the game, Ty Johnson got the first reps in warmups with the first team offense. Frank Gore Jr. got the second reps with the first team offense, not Ray Davis. We'll see.
approve.
We'll see how this plays out tonight. That would be interesting.
Frank Gore Jr. All right. Time. Breakout time. Should have known. I should have put him on Beat the Breakout. CJ De La Cruz. Drop Rachaad White for Tracy. Who are you going with?
I don't want to drop Rachaad White yet. I would be maybe trying to trade Rachaad White if you can, but oh, you did drop him. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, then I guess keep Tracy.
Yeah, he already did this, so he's wondering, does he undo it or redo it?
I guess just keep Tracy at this point. You already got him. You might just keep him. Tracy's been great, so I guess just keep him. Just keep him.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Again, I'm worried about the three-headed monster in Tampa that we're going to see. Let's see. Felix LeBron traded Mooney and Downs, or asking trade Mooney and Downs for Harrison. Is this a good buy low window for Harrison?
It's definitely a good buy low window, and I feel like I should be able to say, "Oh yeah, you're getting Marvin Harrison here," but man, it's not even what happened this week. Because again, the guy got concussed early in the game. It's not like he was Calvin Ridley this week where he got 8 targets and 0 catches, where he was just bad, right? Where you're like, okay, there's no hope here. It's like, hey, this guy got concussed early in the game. We don't know. Maybe he would have had 100 yards and a touchdown by the time the game ended. We don't know. But when you look at the whole season, he's just kind of been okay, right? He's just been okay. Like he's just been kind of okay.
Right.
But I also don't want to overreact here and say like, oh, you have 2 guys who were drafted very late who have exceeded our expectations, or I guess most people's expectations. Right? Because it's hard, like I was talking about with like Gibbs and Pollard. Like you look at Gibbs and Pollard and you're like, oh, Pollard's been better than Gibbs. It's like, well, no, he's only been better than Gibbs because you drafted him 9 rounds later. If you drafted both of them in the first round, you'd probably feel like they were both underwhelming. And that's kind of how I feel here, right? Like, oh, you picked up Downs off waiver wire, and you might have even picked Mooney up off waiver wire, and it feels like, oh, they've been great. But really, I don't know. I mean, the answer probably should be Harrison here, right? It should be Harrison.
If Mooney and Downs are both bench players, I think it's fine to take a chance here. But I would say Harrison, I think there's a better opportunity if you're going to buy low on a wide receiver. I'd rather buy into like a Jalen Waddle, maybe Tyreek Hill, obviously, if that's possible, which it does seem possible. You know what I mean? Yeah, because Harrison, I think, will be solid, but I think our dreams of a wide receiver one fantasy season might be slowly disintegrating. But it's doable, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Harrison. We'll see. All right, Cody is looking ahead to next week. Not feeling too great about Murray, possibly without Harrison. Do you like any of these guys better? That's basically every quarterback that nobody else wants. I mean, Richardson might play.
Actually, they said barring a setback, he's starting. But I don't know if I want Richardson more than Murray. Who the Cardinals get Chargers. That's not a great spot for him, I'll be honest. The Colts get Dolphins. That is a good spot. Steelers get the Jets. I don't know. I might go Anthony Richardson here against the Dolphins.
Yeah, if I'm gonna go with one of those quarterbacks, it's just fine. Yeah, I know you're not gonna feel great about Kyler Murray. Yeah, Richardson probably gonna play in a good spot. I mean, Kirk Cousins seems like he's gonna be lighting it up. Seahawks have been bad on defense, so Cousins is fine too.
Yeah, Cousins probably your safer bet. Cousins your safer bet.
Yeah, safer bet. AR a little bit more upside. OG too much. Got Sermon, but Cheer somehow outperformed him. Hey,
It's funny because I remember all in what week are we in? So 6, so 5. So week 5 when JT was first out, I was like, Sermon's gonna be a trap. Sermon's gonna be a trap, and he went out here and had a great game. And then this week, I'm like, I guess you got to start Sermon, and he was a trap. I guess it just goes to show, like, there's a reason why Trey Sermon has done nothing in the NFL. Like, yeah, you won Trey Sermon off a waiver. Yeah,
he got most of the carries. There's that. If you're in a point per,
you know what happened? Like the thing that sold me on Sermon from in week 5 was like the guy had 6 catches. I was like, I didn't know Sermon was a pass catcher. And then this week he didn't have any, no catches.
Nope. You never know. All right. But by the way, yes, we will give Dameon Pierce this much airtime.
Yeah,
had that touchdown run. Hey,
he did.
Who saw that coming?
He did.
Are we in on Dameon Pierce now?
No, not in on Dameon Pierce.
Zero hesitation there. Zero hesitation. All right. Bundles wants to know who we got winning tonight. Straight up.
Are they in Buffalo? They're in Buffalo, right?
I think so.
I'll go the Bills.
Yeah, I'm going Bills either way. Bills it is. They need to come back. I mean, both teams obviously coming off bitter losses.
They're actually in New York, but I'll still go the Bills, I think.
New York. It's basically the same thing.
True.
All right, Vinny, what's up? Has 86 going against 94. Oh. He has Allen. I have Hall, Kincaid, and a kicker. What do you think?
So you need Hall, Kincaid, and the kicker to outscore Allen by 8+ or 9, I guess. Yeah, I think this is going to be a sweat. I think it's 50-50 here. 50-50. I think it's going to, I mean, obviously it's going to come down to does Breece Hall boom and does Kincaid do anything?
I'll say, look, kicker, let's say about 8 points. That's fine. So let's say that wipes out your deficit. So it's Hall, Kincaid versus Allen. I think I like Breece Hall, but I'm not expecting him to single-handedly outscore Allen. So I think you're going to need Kincaid to do something. Just something. Doesn't have to have a big game. But if Kincaid does something, then you'll be okay. But 50-50. Dustin Forsberg has the Vikings defense. Is it okay to drop the Bengals and Jerome Ford to pick up. Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, definitely okay. Definitely
Drop
okay.
them for whatever. Drop them just clear up empty space on your roster.
Exactly.
Let's see. We were talking about before. This is Rise is always listening. Rise, what's up, Rise? Somebody just couldn't wait for Pat Mahomes to get back from a bye week.
I mean, I don't blame people dropping Patrick Mahomes. He's been pretty terrible this year, but yeah, you might as well pick him up if you got the room. Why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't just drop him, but yeah, all right, good job picking him up. All right, this is going back to a previous one. Paul P. Okay, so he said he forgot his quarterback. If that's going to make a
So you
difference.
just didn't start a quarterback this week?
No, I think he just.
Oh, he said. Oh, he just didn't put him in here. Okay, I mean,
Yeah, he just didn't mention him.
that doesn't really change anything. I mean,
No, I don't think so.
I guess you could try to sell high on Justin Fields, but I don't know what you're getting back for Justin Fields, really.
Yeah, I don't think it makes a difference on how you're doing. Baby cow. It's not a cow. That does not look like a cow. Is that a cow?
No, it's that cartoon, but I don't know what it is. But yeah,
all right.
Like I recognize it, but I couldn't tell you the name.
Ray Davis or Keon Coleman in half.
I mean, do you want points, or do you want the guy who could have one catch for a touchdown or get you 0? I think I'm going Ray Davis here.
Yeah, notice that he didn't say whether he was up, down, or what the score was. Like, what do you need? If you were down by more than a couple of points, just go for the home run of Keon Coleman. If you're tied or up, I would go Ray Davis. But generally speaking, I'm just not a fan of Keon Coleman tonight. So I hope I can just say Ray Davis. Jason Priddle is up 7.8. Breeze versus Allen. Pull that one out.
Yeah, I mean, if Brees has a big game, you will.
I like the move at the end. I actually do. I appreciate this. He says he picked up both Buffalo running backs just to block your opponent. I love that. That's total. This is end game thinking, right? Like thinking 3 steps ahead.
You know what the irony is going to be? Now your opponent's going to be like, well, I guess I got to pick up Frank Gore Jr. and then Frank Gore Jr. is going to have 100 yards or something.
Hopefully not.
But no, I like that thinking. Well done. Well done.
Well done. Yes. Sebastian, we're going to pull for you. Don't know about this one.
Oh,
23.
Can you play both of them together? Can you combine their forces for one guy? Because maybe then you'll get 23 points.
Even then, yeah.
Yeah, I guess Ty Davis, because he'll catch the passes, and that could always lead to like a big play. Get you those. Hopefully it's PPR, so at least he'll get you those pass catching points.
Yeah, we'll be thinking about you. But this one I feel pretty good. Ryan Ball, can Ty Johnson just get 1 point?
Yes, he can get you. I mean, just one catch and you get a point. One catch.
Yes. Feel much better about this one. All right, so Arsal, go back to Tony Pollard, wondering, Arsal, Shazad, can Tony Pollard keep it up?
Yeah, I think so, because I mean he looks good. And it's not like Tony Pollard is breaking fantasy football right now. Again, imagine you pick Tony Pollard in round 1. You'd be like, yeah, he's been okay. But because you picked him in round 9, it's like, oh my gosh, Tony Pollard, which I get. I understand the difference. But like, it's not like he's going out there and getting you 25 to 30 points every week. I think he can keep up this type of. I mean, you know what's most impressive about this? He's doing this despite playing with Will Levis and the Titans. How is he doing this? How is he doing this? Like if I was a defensive coordinator playing the Titans, I would just put 11 guys on the line of scrimmage. I'd be like, you are not gaining a yard running the football, not 1 yard running the football. Like Will Levis is going to beat us. Like absolutely, he's going to beat us.
Yeah, I might kind of have to be out on Will Levis. I know. Yeah, that was not good. All right, what's up, Alex B? This is a dynasty trade. Traded Godwin and a 2nd-round pick for Sun God.
I still think that's a win in dynasty. I mean, we're talking like what, like a 4-year age difference here? 4-year age difference, I believe. Yeah, I think this is a win in Dynasty.
Yeah, in Dynasty, again, a second, anything beyond a first round pick doesn't really move the needle too much for me either way. So I'll take the younger receiver. Yeah. All right. This is Insua Svang. I'm gonna assume. All right. Terry for Aaron Jones.
I want to say this is a fair trade, but I really don't want to trade Terry right now.
I'm not trading Terry for. I know injury prone. We don't slap that label, but he was injured again. I know the bye week he'll be fine, but still, I'm keeping Terry if you have Terry.
Yeah. If Aaron Jones, okay, what if Aaron Jones was healthy? Would you do this trade?
I mean, no. I think I'd still rather have Terry.
Yeah. I just don't really want to trade Terry right now.
Yeah. All right. Davion Hall. So CD will be on a bye. Nico is on IR. How do we feel about Mooney? Well, as your wide receiver one, not great.
Yeah, you can't feel good when your wide receiver one is Mooney, but Mooney's okay. And again, a very good matchup this week against the Seahawks. That secondary is hurting, and that defense. What is this? What is just up with the Seahawks? Seahawks have to be one of the most disappointing teams this year, right? Just bad on both sides of the ball. Just bad. But you still can't feel good about Mooney as your wide receiver one. I'm probably still going downs here, even though it does sound like it will be Richardson.
Yeah, I'll go downs because he's getting those targets, like we keep saying. Week after week, the target share's there, and it's the Dolphins next week. Not a scary defense, so let's go downs. Dynasty 39. Ferg, Ferdell, Shakir. Okay, hold on. Ferg. Is it Ferg, Ferdell, and Shakir? No, can't be right.
No, I think that's the first trade. Ferg for Dell. Give me Tank Dell. Give me Tank Dell. I'll go stream tight end. Give me Tank Dell.
And then Shakir.
And I think the second part he's saying Shakir or Keenan Allen or Hawkinson for Odunze. Any one of those guys for Odunze. I will trade Hawkinson for Odunze in a heartbeat.
Okay. Yeah, I prefer Dell to Ferg, and I'd prefer Dunze to those guys. I think that answers the question. All right. John M wants to know how we're feeling about Javonte Williams. Is he on the cut list?
I'm not ready to cut him yet. I know it was not a great game this week, but man, that Chargers defense is legit, and he still played 68% of the snaps, and he ran 60% of the routes. He still had 5 targets in this game. Obviously, only 6 carries because, I mean, by the time the Broncos offense started doing something, it was late in the game, and they were just throwing the ball. I don't want to just drop Javonte Williams. I guess it depends how shallow the league is and who you're picking up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like we knew this week was going to be tough for him because the Chargers run defense, right? And it was just rough for the entire Broncos offense. But nothing has moved me off my one bold prediction that seems to be true of the Broncos possibly having the worst offense in football. Because even though statistically, I don't think they are the worst right now. Man, they look like the worst. Sometimes they look like they're looking like like Troy playing against like University of Georgia or something. It's like, they can't even get like a first down. And then they're like, oh, Bo Nix runs for a first down. Yeah, because he can't throw it anywhere. Like that's all they can do. They can't run the ball. They can't throw it. So he has to spin out of like 5, potential sacks, and they're all impressed. It's like, it really shouldn't come to that. It's like, and Courtland Sutton made that amazing diving catch at the back of the end zone, which honestly wasn't a touchdown. They ruled it a touchdown.
No. It was not.
I mean, this offense sometimes just looks. I actually was shocked. I don't know where I've been. The Broncos came into this week. They were 3-2. Like, how did they win any of these games? I don't even know. I don't remember them winning ever. I think one time it looked like they might have won against a bad team, but how did they even win 3 games? Yeah, I don't really want to ever start any Broncos just like at all. So I'm okay dropping him, but it really depends. Depends who else you got. All right. Unexpected Broncos rain. Ricardo just needs Kincaid to get 2 points. I think you got it. I think so.
Yeah, let's hope he can get you 2 points.
Has been a rough season. Injuries. Good. All right. Well, I'm glad it helped out. All right. It is almost game time, which also reminds me you still have a couple minutes. If you haven't signed up for Underdog, you get a free pick. It's Josh Allen getting 1 yard. And don't worry if you miss it. They have other ones. But again, if you haven't tried Underdog, get your picks in for tonight. You sign up right now on Underdog, you get this free pick. Josh Allen getting 1 yard, take the higher. So free pick to go with any other picks that you do. So check it out. Again, if you haven't tried Underdog, use code ENDGAME when you do check out because that gets you the free pick plus up to $1,000 bonus cash. So again, great time because it's still Boostober. Worked it in there. All right, Doug. There was a time I would not think I would have to ask, but down 27. Hall and Wilson tonight.
I mean, it's certainly doable. It's not a gimme, but it's certainly doable. 27 points, so it'll be a sweat.
Well, the odd thing is I feel good about Breece Hall. Again, I think he'll go off. I don't love Garrett Wilson, but he will still get you some points. I don't think he's going to get totally shut down, right? So I think so. I'm not sure if I would bet like actual money on it, but I think he should have a good chance. All right. So OG again. So somebody dropped Baker Mayfield because he just got too many fantasy points last week. Just couldn't have that on their team. I would have action picking him up for a trade, but wasted my priority on Sermon.
Yeah. Look, if nobody in the league really needs a QB, well, if nobody in the league needs a QB, then it doesn't make sense to pick him up for a trade either. So
running backs typically, more valuable than a quarterback. So it happens. Don't worry. It happens. Let's see. Got a couple more minutes. Let's see who else needs help. Bean Balls does.
okay.
So let's go with a question. Say which RB. Now, I don't know if you just mean Buffalo RBs or any RB.
Well, yeah, if we're looking at obviously Breece Hall number 1, but assuming Breece Hall is not available, which I'm guessing he's not, I think Braelon Allen's my number 1. I think Ty Davis is my number 2. I mean, Ty Davis. If you could play both of them, that would be great. Ty Johnson is my number 2.
Yeah, if Braelon Allen is out there, maybe not. Go with him. If not, we're saying Ty Johnson. Oh man, well, he says he's up 2, but he's going against Breece.
Well, maybe you really need Braelon Allen then, because then the hope is that Braelon Allen vultures Breece Hall.
Yeah, and actually, in an odd way, I think it does make more sense to go with Braelon Allen because then you hope that he gets the touchdowns or something happens to Breece or whatever. So there you go. You like that answer? Okay, there you go. Let's do a couple more. The Frogs. Kind of a vague question here. Shakir worth owning?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Why not? You're welcome, Beanballs. Good luck. What about
that name is making me chuckle.
What about Sean Cass? Down has Breece Wilson Jets. He has no one. Okay. Can we overcome a fairly decent deficit?
Yeah, it's what, 28? That's not too bad. I mean, it's not a gimme. I mean, let's say Jets D gets you a 5. So now you're 23 with Breece and Wilson. It's doable.
And you're all in on the Jets here, aren't you? It's doable. I don't think the Jets defense will get you too many points, not knowing what your scoring format is. Get you a few. I like Breece. Yeah, this is going to be down to the wire, I think. So we'll see. All right. One more. Uzi goated. What do you do with Olave?
You just got to hold Olave. You got to hold him. He's probably not going to play this week because, again, they play on Thursday, so I doubt he'll clear concussion by then. He should be back the next week, but it might be Spencer Rattler again. You just got to hold Olave. Got to hold Olave.
Yeah, just hold. Don't drop. Somebody earlier asked about drop. Don't drop. Don't sell low. You could, I mean, obviously you have Olave. You could buy low. This might be a good time. All right, Francisco, I like you waited patiently here. Okay. And he did earlier say, I should have shown that one. He loves the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
So up 29. Going against the Bills defense and Kincaid. Got it?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about this. Unless something crazy happens, like Buffalo gets a pick six or runs back a kick, or Kincaid scores 2 touchdowns or something, you should be okay
here. Yeah, it could. I mean, you'd think Rodgers wouldn't throw that many interceptions again. But hold on, wait a minute. What's the deal here? Because here's Francisco's earlier, right? This is the same one. Yes, this is the same Francisco. Now he's saying he's up 20. Are you up 20 or 29?
Yeah, hopefully it's 29. But I think even up 20, I would still take your side. Because, again, you need, 10 points for a defense is a big game. That pretty much means, the Jets did nothing. They didn't even score a point. Or maybe they scored, 1 touchdown but got sacked a bunch through an interception. And then you still need Kincaid to get 10, which by tight end standards is pretty big. So even if you're up, obviously it's better if you're up 29. Yeah.
I think you got it though. All right. Sorry, we do have to do one because it's Julio. What's up, Julio? All right, it is 29. Would you drop Chase Brown for Tracy or Kraft?
Definitely not Kraft. Kraft was terrible this week. Terrible. What changed? Oh, Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs were back. That's right. Tracy's tough, but again, if Singletary comes back, what are we really getting from Tracy? Chase Brown wasn't bad this week. I know he got that late touchdown to save his day, but he wasn't bad, and I think I'm probably holding Chase Brown over Tracy.
I was actually encouraged by Chase Brown because, his numbers weren't amazing. Nothing in that game whatsoever was amazing because it was just a boring game. Chase Brown finally outtouched Zach Moss, and he ran more routes than Zach Moss. And Zach Moss did not look like he was good to go, even though he played. This is what I was kind of expecting. So, yeah, I was encouraged by Chase Brown. So, no, I'm not going to drop Chase Brown.
You know what, actually, real quick, the most impressive thing to me about Chase Brown in that game was he almost fumbled the game away. And then they said, it's fine. We're going to go right back to you. And he scored that touchdown. They didn't take him out of the game, right? They could have been like, okay, you're out of here. You're out of here. You almost fumbled the game away. You're out of here. No, they gave him the ball again. I'm keeping Chase Brown.
Yep. Keeping Chase Brown. There you go. All right, guys, we'll let you watch that game tonight. Bills, Jets. Good luck to everybody who's still in it, hopefully to win it. And after you're done with that game, we got videos to watch because we're going to drop some new ones. You already have 2, the panic video from last night, waiver wire video today. You're going to learn some lessons from last week, and then, Start Sit is going to start coming out. So check those out. Hit notifications if you haven't already so you know when we go live, which will, of course, be again tomorrow night to help you with those waiver wire decisions, your trade questions, whatever. So join us tomorrow. And also, you can ask your questions online. That's right. We got an app. If you don't know, it's called Draft Lane. Check it out. A lot of people have still been using it. If you haven't tried it yet, it's a free download. App Store, Google Play Store. Just search Draft Lane. You download it absolutely free. And then you can sync your Yahoo and Sleeper leagues with it and use it for all your questions. You can contact us directly offline or online. I guess it's online. All right, guys. Good luck, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow night.